Hey guys, I'm sitting here in the dark, but I thought I'd squeeze this little sketchpad conversation in between the end of the day and dinner. So please forgive the darkened shadows and the bike up behind is sitting there all broken from my bike accident. So today we're talking about why people resist change. And I hope you find it interesting. It's a little bit comical. I've tried to lighten things up a little bit, but I think at the same token, is going to issue some really good information for you. Have a great day. Bye.
So why don't people change? Well, there's one good reason. Oh my goodness gracious me. Look at that. Oh my goodness me. I think the first picture is better. So why don't people change? Well, they are afraid of fucking up. They're afraid of the outcome. So sometimes we don't change because we're afraid of the outcome. So, but I think that's the wrong question, to be honest with you. The question is, why don't people change voluntarily? So, nature has a big boot, and she will put that boot right in your never never, right up the backside if you don't change. So let's talk about why people resist change. That's a really important thing. So here's the screen of the future. Here's the individual thinking about the future. So if the future looks attractive, in other words, it's either got a pleasure in it, it's either got right, they think it's the right thing to do, or there's a vision, in other words, you want something that's in the future. If either of those three things are present, there's motivation to go to the future. But if it appears to the individual like there's no pleasure, there's just pain in the future, more pain. If it appears to the individual that there's something wrong, in other words, their moral code or their values are going to be contradicted in the future, or if they don't know what they want, there's no drive, then the present over here becomes pleasure, becomes more pleasure to stay in the present. It becomes right. And their vision becomes what we call microvision, which means the day, or as Eckhart Tolle empowered people to say, be in the moment. Now, when we be in the moment, the present becomes number one. Then when you say, let's change, the person would ask the question, how does it affect my present? In other words, they say, yeah, I'll change as long as it improves the present. So clearly we're motivated by three things: the body, the mind, and the spirit. The body wants to see pleasure versus pain. They want to see the pleasure, in fact, greater than the pain. The mind wants to see right greater than wrong. And the spirit wants there to be a sense of a self greater than the current self. So we think we are going to be either bigger, happier, smarter, more wealthy. So the spirit is engaged in more. So when we say I'm going to have more intelligence, more love, more money, then the spirit kicks in and we want to move towards the future. When we say we're going to be a more lovable, which means we're going to be more right, which means, in other words, less sin, less naughty, less pain, less suffering, then again we might be motivated to the future. And when we think we're going to have more pleasure, fun, enlightenment, joy, what's the word for it? Bliss, grace, all these words that we accidentally call spiritual, it's really the body saying, I want more pleasure than pain. So we can be motivated by body, mind, or spirit. It doesn't really matter to us. The only difference is that motivated to change by the body equals short. Motivated by the mind is medium. We call those things goals. And motivated by the spirit equals sustainable. When a person says, I don't want to change, I'm not going to move forward with the organisation, I'm not going to move forward with the family, I'm not going to move forward in my life, I'm not going to move forward. What it basically means is they can't find one single link between body, mind and spirit that will take them forward. Now, nature is going to give that person a proverbial boot up the arse. And that's really sad, because that nature's boot, and she has about 8,000 diseases. She has calamities, disasters, and humbling circumstances, all of which, calamities, disasters, and humbling circumstances, all of which are nature's boot up the bum. By the way, I don't know if you've seen this before, but here's a good interlude. Let's look at it. Okay, I've done it wrong. Here we go. This is an interlude. What's that? Yep, it's a house, most people would say. What's this? Most people would say it's the door of the house. And what's this? Most people would say it's the sunshine. What's this? Most people would say it's the path leading away from the house. But everybody who said that would be wrong, because actually it's a picture of Chris Walker in the shower bending over to pick up the soap. Talking about nature's boot. Okay. So why do people resist change? Well, there's a fence. It's called the present. Behind the fence is the past, which is memories. And if there's a trauma back here and they perceive that the same trauma is going to be in the future, then the person would prefer to sit on the fence. Now, we are always trying to get people to get towards the future we want them to move to, but actually people don't move toward the future we want them to move to. They move themselves towards the future that they want. So in the loyalty, commitment and motivation LCM process, which I created, what we do is we create 5 columns. It's important to know this. You don't have to do the columns with your client. You don't have to do it with yourself if you don't want. And the LCM process goes like this. Job description. What are the tasks that I have to do in the day? My vision. Company vision. Or family vision, or whatever the vision you have, your vision, we call it. So the first question you ask a person is, how does doing this, number 1 here, get you this? And that you ask them, how do all of these things that they're called in their job description, the first question you ask, how does this get you this? How does this get you this? How does this get you this? And you write the answers down here, which is called PM, personal motives. Now, it doesn't matter whether it's body, mind, or spirit that answers the question, whether it's short, medium, long term. What the important thing is that they can link even doing photocopying over here to their vision of having a new speedboat. But that creates a self-motivated person, and they're a very dangerous entity, because that means that their only reason they're coming to work are their own self-obsessive vision. So the next question you ask is, how does getting your vision help the company get its vision? In other words, we're trying to link their job description to their own vision, but then we're trying to link their vision to the company vision. The reason we do that is so that we build up teams. So this is where teamwork is built. By linking personal vision to company vision, by linking these across, the individual has to cooperate with other people down here in order to create, to integrate. So their vision doesn't stand in isolation. Their vision builds the company vision. So their job description builds that. That builds that. And this is what we call the LCM process. And it operates at an individual level and it operates at a company level. Well, that's it for now. I think this has been I hope this has been a really interesting little scribble day. And why don't people change? Well, the answer is they do. It's why don't people like change? And why don't they volunteer? And that's really important, because you want people to volunteer for change. And I'll leave you with this image. This is Chris. Bye for now.